What you're looking at right now should not exist. This is a pickup truck, a working class, haul your lumber, carry your camping gear, drive your kids to school pickup truck. Except it has 777 horsepower and a supercharger the size of a small engine sitting on top of a V8 that was literally ripped from the most feared muscle car America ever produced. And here's the part that should make every Ferrari owner nervous. This thing will leave them at a traffic light, in a truck, that could be carrying your garden furniture in the back. We need to talk about the Ram Rumblebee SRT because whoever signed off on this inside a boardroom somewhere either had a complete mental breakdown or was an absolute genius. Maybe both. Probably both. Here's what genuinely breaks my brain about the automotive world right now. Every car manufacturer on Earth is racing toward the same destination. Smaller engines, more screens, better range, less noise, more compliance. It's like the entire industry agreed to become appliances at the exact same meeting. And then Ram showed up, and Ram said, you know what the world needs? 777 horsepower in a truck with a supercharger, and the widest tires outside of a Dodge Viper, and a rear spoiler engineered to keep it planted at speeds that would make most road cars shake apart. The Rumblebee SRT is not just a vehicle. It is a philosophical statement. It is an argument. A very loud, very fast, very American argument. And I genuinely don't know if that argument is insane or if it's the most brilliantly correct thing anyone has done in the car industry in years. What I do know is that the moment you hear what's under that hood, something happens to you, something primal, something that reminds you why human beings fell in love with cars in the first place. So let's get into it. The beast under the hood. There's a moment, and if you're a car person, you know exactly what I'm talking about, when you look at an engine and you feel something. Not just see it, feel it. Like standing at the edge of something enormous. The Rumblebee SRT gives you that moment. Underneath that hood sits the legendary Hellcat Hemi V8, 6.2 liters of pure mechanical aggression. And if that wasn't enough, and apparently Ram decided it was not enough, they bolted a 2.4 liter twin screw supercharger directly on top of it, cranking out 13 pounds of boost. The result is 777 brake horsepower and 680 pound-feet of torque delivered to all four wheels through an 8-speed automatic gearbox. 777 horsepower in a pickup truck. Think about what that number means for a second. There are supercars that cost $500,000 and still don't make 777 horsepower. There are track-focused performance machines with roll cages and racing seats that would lose to this thing in a straight line, and the Rumblebee will still do it while potentially carrying half a furniture store in its load bay. But power numbers on paper are one thing. What makes this genuinely dangerous is how it gets that power to the ground. An electronic spool differential, a limited slip differential at the rear, and tires. Oh, the tires. 325 section width on 22-inch wheels. These are the widest rubber you'll find on any production vehicle wearing a Mopar badge, bar the Viper itself. The Viper. They put Viper-grade tires on a working truck and called it a day. And you wonder why I said this shouldn't exist. The shape of something dangerous. Here's something people don't talk about enough with performance trucks: the engineering required to stop them from destroying themselves. Because raw power in something this heavy and this tall isn't just thrilling, it's potentially catastrophic. So Ram's engineers had a problem, a glorious self-inflicted problem. Their solution was to shorten the whole thing. They cut 13 full inches from the standard 1500s wheelbase. 13 inches, which means what you're looking at when this thing rolls past you is something that looks almost square from a distance, impossibly wide, surprisingly compact, hunched low like an animal that knows it can do something violent at any moment. The front end is doing a lot of work. There's an enormous grill feeding air to transmission coolers, brake ducting, and the hungry engine behind it. Beneath that, a large front splitter, and here's the detail I love. It's slightly flexible at higher speeds. Not because Ram couldn't make it rigid, but because they engineered it to move with the aerodynamic forces at play. That's not a cost-cutting decision. That's genuine performance engineering hiding in plain sight. And then you walk to the back past the absolutely dramatic wheel arch flares that bulge out over those massive tires, and you find the spoiler, which is mounted to the tailgate with 8 anchor points. Find the spoiler, which is mounted to the tailgate with 8 anchor points. Find the spoiler, which is mounted to the tailgate with 8 anchor points. 8. Because at the speeds this truck is theoretically capable of, and we're talking well above 170 miles per hour, that spoiler is doing serious aerodynamic work. It is actively managing airflow on a truck. The whole exterior is what happens when performance engineers are given a pickup truck and told to make it mean something. No half measures, no aesthetic tricks that don't actually function. Everything you see on this body has a reason that's rarer than it sounds. Inside the contradiction. Now, here's where things get genuinely strange. You climb into the Rumblebee SRT, which, by the way, sits noticeably lower than any standard Ram 1500, so the whole experience of getting in already feels different, more like sliding into a sports car than climbing into a truck, and you expect utilitarian aggression. You expect hard plastic and a focus on function. You expect it to feel like a weapon. Instead, it feels like a luxury cabin. Everything your hands and eyes touch is wrapped in leather. The dashboard, the glove box lid, the door panels, the seats, all of it. There's hand-stitched orange thread running through the interior, and that color wasn't chosen randomly. It matches the color of the engine block. Whoever decided to make that connection, to pull a detail from the mechanical heart of the vehicle and thread it literally through the interior stitching, that person understood something most car designers miss. The small details are where emotional connection lives. There's a 19-speaker audio system with a subwoofer, a 12-inch portrait touchscreen, a heads-up display, heated, ventilated, and powered seats, wireless charging, a genuinely clever adjustable pedal box so you can position your legs at exactly the right angle, real carbon fiber trim with a laser inset logo, not a sticker, not a printed graphic, an actual laser etched logo in actual carbon fiber woven material. And then there's the launch control button, sitting there with a little set of drag strip lights as its icon. Because of course there is. Because this truck knows what it is and what it wants to do. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. Press that button, left foot on the brake, hammer the throttle, and this machine does the thinking for you. It just goes. Violently, instantly, magnificently goes. The contradiction here is the whole point. This is the most luxurious thing Ram has ever built, wrapped around the most savage engine Ram has ever put in a production vehicle. It shouldn't make emotional sense, but it does. Because comfort and performance aren't opposites. They never were. The people who told you they were trying to sell you something with less of both. The truck that started a war. Nobody remembers. To understand why the Rumblebee SRT matters, you have to understand where this idea actually started, and it starts somewhere most people don't expect. Nearly 50 years ago, in 1978, a company called Dodge, which would eventually become the Ram we know today, built something extraordinary and called it the Lille Red Express. And before you laugh at the name, understand what this truck actually was. It was America's fastest production vehicle at the time. Not the fastest truck, the fastest vehicle. Full stop. It was a canyon red pickup with chrome exhaust stacks rising from the bed, a V8 modified from a police cruiser engine, and a loophole exploiting exhaust system that made it significantly louder than anything else on the road. And Dodge marketed it, and I want you to really sit with this, as an adult toy. That was the actual advertising campaign, Adult Toys, in 1978. There was a version of this truck called the Warlock, which was just the same truck in black with a name that should have ended careers but instead became legendary. That truck lit a fire. It proved that the working class vehicle, the practical utilitarian pickup, could be transformed into something that made people feel things, that you didn't have to sacrifice usefulness for excitement, that you could carry things and embarrass sports cars on the way home, and that idea never fully died. It just got quiet for a while. Then in 2006, Dodge let its best worst instincts win again and dropped a Viper V10 into a single cab Ram pickup, 8.3 liters, 500 horsepower, a 6-speed manual gearbox, and a certified top speed of 154 miles per hour, making it, to this day, the fastest production pickup truck ever officially recorded. That vehicle exists. It holds a record. The signatures on the engine block of the record-breaking example are still there, confirming its place in history. Every version of the Rumblebee SRT that exists today carries the DNA of those decisions. The crazy ones. The why would you even do that ones. The ones that ended up in history books. What this actually means. We live in an era of automotive anxiety. Everything is becoming the same. Everything is optimized, sanitized. We live in an era of automotive anxiety. Everything is becoming the same. Everything is optimized, made palatable for maximum people and minimum controversy. Performance is measured in milliseconds of 0 to 60 times generated by electric motors that have no sound, no drama, no smell. Efficiency is religion. Responsibility is the language. And then the Ram Rumble B SRT exists. And it doesn't apologize for a single horsepower. That supercharger whines. That V8 shakes your chest cavity when it wakes up. Those tires are wider than a rational mind can justify on a vehicle with a load bay, and it will do all of this while being more luxurious inside than cars that cost 3 times the money, while being genuinely capable of hauling actual things, while being a real truck in every meaningful sense of the word. There's something deeply, specifically human about building something this unnecessary. Engineers spent real-time smart people, gifted people, figuring out how to make a pickup truck go faster than sports cars, how to give it a spoiler that actually functions at 170 miles per hour, how to get those massive tires to fit under those arches, how to make the interior feel like a GT car while still being a working truck. None of that was practical. All of it was worth it, because the best things humans have ever made were never made because they were practical. They were made because someone somewhere with enough resources and just enough authority decided that the world needed something extraordinary, even if the world didn't know it yet. The Rumble B SRT is exactly that. It is a monument to doing something just because you can. It is the automotive equivalent of a mountain being climbed not because it was in the way, but because it was there. And I, for one, am deeply glad it exists. Here's the thing about vehicles like this. They don't just move you from one place to another. They move something inside you. They remind you that transportation was never just about getting somewhere. It was always about how it felt to go. The Ram Rumble B SRT is going to divide people. Some will look